What is going on, YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I will go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. So today we are going to talk a little bit about investing. Look, if you are broke, if you are poor, you can still invest with as little as $1. $1 is really all it takes to start the investment process. Now, let me explain a few things. Let's say you are disabled or unemployed, or you don't have a job that provides you with a 401k or any sort of stock options, anything like that. That's okay. One of the things that when it comes to a 401k, yes, you do want to take advantage of any 401k because of the tax benefits. And usually, not usually, but sometimes companies will offer a portion that they'll give. It's free money. It's free money. So if you have a 401k, at least, invest the amount where the money matches. So if they match up to 7%, invest 7%. Now, a lot of people get very, very confused about investing, and they don't understand, if I don't have a job, if I have, people assume that a 401k is the only way to invest, and it's not. So there are these places that are called brokerages. Brokerages are just companies that allow you to invest. The biggest ones are Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Vanguard. And it is as easy to set up a brokerage account as it is to get a Netflix account. So if you have Netflix, you have no excuse saying it's too difficult for me to start, because it's so easy. So you just type in fidelity.com or charlesschwab.com or vanguard.com. You go to their website and you're going to see a link that says open an account, right? Now, I can't show you on my screen because I would have to open an account and I already have an open account. So it's not something that I need to do to show you, but it's very easy to explain. Open an account, and then you link your bank account to the brokerage account, right? And then you can transfer as little as $1 from your bank account to your brokerage account. Then when it gets to your brokerage account, it's going to show just $1. It's not invested in anything, it's just in the account. So this is where you have to come in and invest it. So when you're doing as little, let's say you wanted to buy a stock, and the stock has a price of $50, but you only have $1. So you're not going to be able to buy a stock. But what you can do is you can buy portions of mutual funds. Now, I don't want to get too far ahead. So, a mutual fund is essentially it's a basket full of businesses. It's a BB, a basket full of businesses. So, and it ranges. I don't want to get too confused, but it ranges from everything. So if you are in your younger years, what you probably want to do is just follow the S&P 500. If you were to, the S&P 500 is an index fund. So the S&P is an index fund. The NASDAQ is an index fund. I'm trying to think. The Russell 2000 is an index fund. So just as a for instance, the Russell 2000, there's a reason it's called the Russell 2000, because it follows the top 2,000 companies. So you're looking at Walmart, Facebook, Target, stuff like that, Tesla, the top 2,000 companies in the United States. The S&P 500 follows the top 500 U.S. companies in the United States, Facebook, market, all that sort of stuff. You can also invest in the S&P 1000, which is the top 1,000 businesses in the United States. And you can't follow an index exactly, so you can't just invest directly into the S&P. So you have to invest in a mutual fund that follows the index fund. Okay, mutual fund that follows the index fund. And a mutual fund, so for instance, I have Charles Schwab and Fidelity. Charles Schwab, the S&P 500 index has something called a ticker symbol. And it's an old saying from back when they used to tick them out on tickets. But the S&P 500 with Charles Schwab is SWPPX. Hold on one second here. Okay. And then the Vanguard, the Vanguard 500 index that follows the S&P 500 is VFINX, that type of thing. So you're going to get a ticker symbol. And if you want to invest if you have as little as $1, you can buy a fractional share of a mutual fund, which means if the mutual fund costs $50 and you only have $1, you can buy 1/50th of a share. I hope that makes sense. So when you go in to create your account, you want to make sure that it doesn't just stay in the cash investments, because moving your money from a bank account that's earning up to 3.9% interest, up to 5% interest because the interest rates are so high right now, moving it from there to just a cash investment in a brokerage account, you're not going to be earning any interest on the money in the brokerage account. So you want to make sure that you invest it. It doesn't just sit there as cash. So you have to invest it. And this is where people get really scared. They get really scared to invest because they don't know what to invest in. And I'm just going to recommend it that if you don't know what to invest in, just invest in a mutual fund that follows the S&P 500. That is the easiest way to do it. That's, you can do it for as little as $1. And if you can put in like $10 a month, you can still continue to increase that, right? You can just do it slowly over time, and it shouldn't be scary. And if you are looking for specific companies that you want to invest in, that's a lot more risky. And if you're already living on a low income, or you're, living under the poverty line, you don't want to invest in companies because companies are more risky, and you don't want to invest more than you can afford to lose. So if you can afford to lose $10 a month, that's okay. But historically, it's gone up 10% every year for the last 100 years. So if you were to invest $10 today, then a year later it would be worth $11. And then a year after that, it would be worth $12.10 because it's increasing by 10% every year. And sometimes it goes up and sometimes it goes down, but historically it just goes up 10% every year. And pretty much the only way to build wealth is by buying assets. And assets, people assume, are their house. No, your house is not an asset. Your house is actually losing you money until you go to sell it. But an asset, it can be a company, a stock, a mutual fund that gives you a fractional share of these Fortune 500 companies that are increasing in value every year. That is an asset. You are buying a portion of a company or a portion of the stock market that goes up 10% every year for the last 100 years. The only exception to that being the Great Depression, which was obviously a horrible time. And do I believe we are headed for another Great Depression? No. And even if we were headed for another Great Depression, your investment and stock portfolio would be absolutely the last thing of your worries. Then you're pretty much looking for food because the Dust Bowl killed all of the crops, So, and if the economy crashes, the US dollar goes to zero, your stock portfolio is not that important. That is not the important thing when you are becoming a cannibal trying to kill other people just to eat to survive, right? That's when your beans, bullets, and band-aids come into effect. But I don't think that we are headed for something insane like that. That is just fear-mongering that you hear on the internet in order to scare you and sensationalize things into getting views, which is not something that I think that we should adhere to or continue to allow to happen. But you can invest on a very, very low income, even if you don't have a 401k match. Oh, sorry. I just trimmed my hair. And I think I have hair on my nose. Oh, I trimmed my own hair. All right, folks. So if you are afraid of investing, it should not be scary. And if you don't know what to invest in, just do something that follows the S&P 500. You can also, if you feel like it, just Google things. Google top 10 dividend investments, right? And then you do your research on whatever that article said, and see if the one or two or all 10 of those top dividend investments are going to work for you and for your goals. And remember, everybody has different goals. So while I might now be focusing on dividends, maybe you are focusing on higher growth instead of growth in income like I am. But and it depends on your age, your tolerance, everything that you're looking into. So just keep that in mind. So I want you all to know that you can invest even if you are poor, even if you have a low income. And honestly, it is the only way. If you're unable to work, it's the only way that you can increase your income is through dividends and increase in stock prices. All right, folks, that's what I've got for you today. Do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out.